When I was a kid, my mom used to read Christopher Robin stories to me from the world at Pooh Corner, and one of the favorite ones that I was read to on a regular basis was about Winnie the Pooh and the whole story about the Pooh sticks, if you remember that. Winnie the Pooh and Rabbit were dropping Pooh sticks over the bridge. They were running from one side to the other to find out which Pooh stick won. And one time when they were doing that, they saw Eeyore floating upside down, and they realized that he was not supposed to be in the river. And they said, Eeyore, what in the world are you doing there? And Eeyore said, I'll give you 3 guesses, Rabbit. Digging holes in the ground, wrong. Leaping from branch to branch of a young oak tree, wrong. Waiting for someone to help me out of the river, right. Waiting for someone to help me out of the river. That stuck with me for a long time from those early days of having that story read to me. Waiting for someone to help me out of the water. This is where Eeyore was actually a number of months back here at Zion Lutheran when I introduced the Eeyore Project, suggesting to people that there's a lot of people out there in the neighborhoods and in schools and right close to where people were who were like Eeyore, kind of aimlessly meandering down the river of life, waiting for someone to help them out of the river. I had Eeyore up here. I kept them up front of church for a while. I had a number of these littler Eeyores stuck around the church in different places, and just to remind people of the Eeyore Project. And I told the kids on that day when I put the Eeyores around the fellowship hall and in the Sunday school building and a number of places, that the first kids who identified where all the small Eeyore ones would get to keep one at the end of the time. Of course, their tails come off if you see these Eeyores. And the Eeyore Project was to find somebody who was waiting for someone to help them out of the river. I gave people a list. Make a list of people that you can pray for. Invite a friend or neighbor to our Blessing of the Animals time. Commit to service each month for the needy in community. Look for someone that you don't know at church and just spend some time getting to know them. Have an Eeyore party. Give them a list of about 20 things that they could do to participate in the Eeyore Project, because there's a lot of people out there who are waiting for someone to help them out of the river. And like the Good Samaritan who went and helped the Good Samaritan didn't change the whole world, but he helped one person who needed it. And Jesus said how blessed he was and how good of an example he was of what a neighbor is. Think of someone that you know who is struggling with the complexities of life. Maybe visualize their face in your mind's eye for a moment. Think of them as being that person that you pass by, like the man by the side of the road was passed by the priest and the Levite and other religious people at that time. You may not know their challenges, but you know that they have them. They're struggling through life. What they're really looking for is for someone to help them out of the river, someone to lend a helping hand. Recognize that God has gifted you in a particular way to reach out to particular people. Not everyone by any means, but there's no one in this world who will travel the same paths that you do. There's no one in this world with the same friends or networks or workplaces that you do. No one who goes to exactly the same school and goes the same route every single day. There's no one in this world that has the people by the side of your road than you. So you have a unique witness. You are able to think about, that's what I encourage you to do, think about people by the side of your road. And like the Good Samaritan, like Pooh and Piglet, who dropped rocks and then made Eeyore waves to bring Eeyore back to shore. God has gifted you in a particular way to be that Good Samaritan, to be that Pooh and Piglet making Eeyore waves to save him. Think about that these days as we're talking about love, agape, phileo, that move toward a more agape way of loving, of giving ourselves in service of others. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.